Welcome to Bridging the Gap, where conversations matter, understanding grows, and communication takes center stage. I'm your host, Fred Hoth, along with Joyce Coles. We're glad to have you with us today.
In a world we're more connected than ever. In this world, we're more connected than ever. I have to say that again, because it's easy to forget how far apart we can feel between the generations, between the cultures, then there's the political views, and even at home across the dinner table. Bridging the Gap is about digging deeper, listening harder, and building bridges where there are barriers. Each session, we're going to look to discuss real stories, struggles, insights. We're going to have some experts and some advocates and some everyday people just trying to be heard.
Together, we'll explore how experiences shape our relationships, our communities, and our future. So if you've ever had a conversation that changed your life, or one you wish you could take back, this is your space, this is your moment, this is Bridging the Gap.
Today's guests are Keith Stith. He's a director of public safety for Piscataway Township, my town, okay? And then he's brought along with him Detective Elk Peterkin, and he's also part of my town. He comes here every day. So let's get started, and Keith, tell me and tell us, how did you make your way to Piscataway?
Sure. First of all, thank you for having myself and Detective Peterkin. I've been in law enforcement for 35 years. I like to say this is my fourth police department and my last police department.
Oh, wow.
I started my career in 1994 at the Union County Sheriff's Office. I worked there, in 1990, it was 1994, I worked there for about 4 years. I got a taste of investigations. That led me to transition to the Hudson County Prosecutor's Office, where I worked for 27 years.
Wow.
I retired at the Hudson County Prosecutor's Office as Chief of Detective, the first African-American Chief of Detective, so I'm proud of that. Thank you. Subsequent to my retirement, I received a call from the mayor of Rochester, New York. In 2020, there was an incident up there in Rochester where a young man by Daniel Prude died in police custody. That incident caused a major issue between the police department and the citizens of that community. I was asked to come up to bridge the gap between the police department and the community. So I was up there for 2.5 years, did a lot of good work up there. The police department at that time needed a credible messenger. So we did a lot of work with the Urban League to build the trust between the police and community. So when I felt the job was over with, right? Job well done. So I decided to come back home to New Jersey, learned about this opportunity. I feel that I still have a lot to give to young men and women in the police department. I believe I have value towards any community. So I decided to come here to the township of Piscataway.
Well, thank you for coming to our town. And what about you, Detective Peterkin?
Thank you.
What made you make your way here?
Well, I started my career in law enforcement in 2013 with the city of East Orange. That's where I grew up. And in 2019, I came here to Piscataway. The reason why I picked Piscataway is because at the time I was looking for, knew I had a family coming, and I wanted something to accommodate my family schedule. Every department's different; they have different schedules and things. And Piscataway fitted the schedule that I needed the most, and I got picked, and I'm here now. So while my time in East Orange, I started, of course, on patrol, and then I made my way to becoming a school resource officer prior to coming here in Piscataway. And now that I'm here, I work with the Special Victims Unit and the Community Engagement Team here in Piscataway as the school resource officer. So, and I'm here now, so it's good.
Nice. Well, welcome, gentlemen.
Good to be here.
We know you're here to talk to us about the community-based programs that Piscataway Police Department has to
Sure.
bridge the gap.
Yes.
So we'll let you jump right in.
So let me talk about one of probably the most popular program is the Front Porch Roll Calls. The Front Porch Roll Call is a community engagement strategy. It's new to the township, but around the country, folks is doing it. What it simply is that we have our citizen hosts a roll call, either on their front porch, their driveway, inside their home. And what's really important here is that our citizens could engage with our police officers real time, and that's important. And the other piece of that, we have to be responsive as well. So you tell us the issues, and we need to be responsive and take care and address those issues. The other piece to the Front Porch Roll Call is that the citizens get to see the cops that's patrolling their neighborhood. It's important that you know who patrolling your neighborhood. So that program is probably our most popular program, and we had to discontinue the program because the weather's changing, but we will resume the program back up in the spring. The second, if you want us to talk about that.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And being in my capacity in patrol at the time when I had to do a front porch roll call is you get the one-on-one with the community, right? And you, me being a law enforcement, knowing I'm doing my job, I can say, okay, you input what issues you have, and I'll do my best to address the issues. And then I can always give feedback. Hey, I'll go back and say, listen, I understand you said there's a car that speeds here at such and such time, and then I do my due diligence. I come here at that time to see if the car was speeding, and I could report back to that citizen and say, listen, the car was speeding, he got a citation, or hey, I didn't see anything at that time. It's good feedback, and it gives that connection with the community that you have. And you know, it's like you said, it bridges the gap, and you build that relationship with the residents there, and they could count on you. You know.
Yeah.
They also get to know the police officers as people, not
right.
just
Right. Yes.
people in a uniform that are driving by or
Right,
patrolling
right.
the neighborhood, but
Right.
as people.
Right. You
Right.
bring up a good point. It humanized the officer, right?
Yes.
And that's important, where the citizens of this community can have that interaction real time with the folks that patrolling their neighborhoods.
It humanizes the police officers with the community, but also does so for the community, because many people who would probably never talk to each other
True.
Yes.
come out for those roll calls
Yes.
and begin to engage.
And
Yes.
and definitely, and to speak on that, and there was a front porch roll call when that happened. We had one, and then the neighbors joined along, and there's no problem with that. And they got their input in, and it's always great to see. And once they see that, they're like, okay, this is what it's about, and it's a good program, definitely.
So can I ask a question? I know there's much to talk about, but can I ask a question about the roll calls? Was it designed just for that specific person who applied, or is it actually designed for the community?
Yes and yes. So it's designed for the community, but the way we advertise it, we ask the community member to reach out to us so we could set up an appointment so we could go out to that home.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's open to everybody.
Okay.
And I think that again, it's a very popular program, and we were inundated with requests. So, I mean, I can't take them totally away from their job, right? So, but again, in the spring, we'll do a better job of managing the program.
And also, did you want to talk about expanding it to like businesses in town?
sure.
I know we have like front porch, but we want to make sure that local businesses in town can also request a front porch roll call. And I know the word porch is in there, but also we have apartment complexes. We can use their community center to hold the roll call.
Okay.
So yeah, so it expands. It's just we just don't want to leave it at one home or one residence or one porch in a sense, but local businesses or apartment complexes where we could host those for porch roll calls as well. So.
That's great.
Yep.
That's great, particularly in the times that we're living in. And
Yes.
Yes.
It's good for people to know who people are.
Yes, absolutely.
That's a fantastic program. I know you've got more to talk
Yeah,
about.
yeah. So the second program, and it's a new program, is that the Piscataway Police Department, just for the holidays, we are going to do home security checks for our residents that go out of town during the holiday. And I think that's common sense. I think most people in our community want a reasonable portion of public safety, right? You want to wake up in the morning, you want to know your car there. When you go to work, right? You want to make sure your house is intact, right? And that's fair. I think that's more than fair. So I think what we could do is, while you're away during the holidays, we could keep an eye on your house for you. And I mean physically getting out the car and doing a perimeter check of your residence. So that's a new program that we started. Again, we've been inundated with requests, and we're going to do our best to go out and meet those demands.
And we have our annual Get the Heck Out of New Jersey in February trip. And a couple of years ago when I came back, the neighbor came over and said, hey, did something happen? There was a police officer that walked, and I was ecstatic. I actually went back to the department and thanked them for it, where they didn't just drive by. They actually, a couple of nights, opened the gate, walked around the backyard, and came in and did a full check.
Right.
So it's a fantastic program, and it gives people peace of mind when
Absolutely.
they travel.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So would you think about doing that for the summer?
Listen, we are an evolving police department. Ton of talent at the police department. The men and women over there have great ideas. So we open to anything. Community engagement is my wheelhouse. I would like for our cops to get more out in the community. I just think that there's much more that we could do as a police department, more than coffee with a cop. There's a lot of stuff that we could do. As a law enforcement executive, I learned this at the Hudson County Prosecutor's Office. I really learned this up in Rochester, New York, that policing, you can't do it by yourself, right? And I don't mind sharing a burden with the citizens of this community. There's no way that we could do this by ourselves. So we need to find ways to engage our community. We're doing a good job. Can we be better? Absolutely. But we need to find ways where we could, better engage our community and share that burden with the citizens of this township. So
One of your, not to cut you off,
Sure.
but one of your star programs happens to be the Police Academy, because I know loads of people who went.
right, the Citizen Police Academy is very popular. It's a good academy because it gives folks. How long is the academy?
It's about 12 weeks.
12 weeks.
12 weeks.
An insight of what the men and women go through. And I think that's important, right? We talked about humanizing the cops, right? So you with a bunch of cops for 12 weeks, you would see the other side of that cop is a person first,
And
So-
you learn what they go through to
Right.
training
Yes.
and start to
Absolutely.
understand a little bit more.
The perspective changes. Yeah.
Absolutely. So I know that the Community Engagement Unit is going to start recruiting for that as well. I'm excited about that in 2026.
Okay.
And then what I've learned is the favorite part is once graduation is complete, citizens get to request a ride along. That's one of their favorites.
Yeah.
And me participating in a ride along, it definitely showed that citizen who participated in the academy, it definitely showed that he had a different perspective on things. Because especially with the ride along, because it's more in depth, like, he gets to see what calls we respond to and things that. And one of the things he mentions, like, wow, I didn't realize how big this town is. So when you guys respond to calls, it's
Not just in this little block.
yeah.
Okay.
So you have a whole,
Exactly.
So it helps, man. It's very rewarding, and you get to see these things, the behind the scenes of what we do, especially with the citizens here in Piscataway. So I would definitely encourage citizens to sign up for it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's an
Yeah.
impressive
Very
one.
cool.
I hear people come back and talk about the ride along.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that can be an exciting one, depending.
Yeah.
on what
Yeah.
but you also can understand then a little bit about if your shift is 12 hours, 10 or 11 hours of boredom driving around in its routine, and then all of a sudden you get that call, and now
Yeah.
you got to switch on.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yes, yep. That's a very big topic there.
Yeah.
Another ride along topic they brought up was of how there's so many different personalities we deal with, and a question he said, he always say, like, when I drive, I always wonder why there's 3 or 4 police cars, for one person. And when we get feedback, like, it's just a safety precaution. It's not necessarily saying like this person's dangerous. There's a lot of in-depth conversation we can have with the citizens, say why we do what we do. and they could say, "Oh, okay, I get it now. Oh, I understand." You know, and and one thing we're big on is like we should always have that one-on-one with our community. You know, we're not a secret society here. You know, we're public servants. You know, so it's good to give that information to our citizens so they have an idea to see why we do what we do and why we had to do it.
Right.
Yeah, so.
And just to piggyback what he was saying, I think that onus is on us because this is a very diverse community here in Piscataway, right?
Yes.
And policing means different things to different ethnic
people.
groups, right? So I want to make sure that we talk to every ethnic group in this community so they can understand so they can understand us and we can understand them. So again, just getting back to community engagement and just encourage the men and women to participate in different events through the township. Next year, I'm going to be inviting community leaders to roll calls. Right, so we can't do roll calls because it's a little chilly out, but we're going to invite community leaders to roll calls, to speak talk for 5 minutes to the women and the men and women in the police department. So again, just recognizing, where we work at, what our communities look like, what we should be as a police department. Those are all important things.
Well, tell us a little more about Coffee with the Cop, because that's a perfect platform to do exactly what you're talking about. It's been now, especially in the winter when you can't be outside.
Yeah, so I mean, don't get me wrong. Coffee with a Cop is great, but I just think that there's more than coffee with a cop to engage our community. We have the Muslim Center right here, and they have demands as well. They want to make sure that policing. Our police officers know how to interact with their community as well. So just trying to make sure that we touch every community, and interact appropriately and engage. Sometimes you got to go to them, and they open that door for us, and I think that we should take advantage of that opportunity.
Fantastic.
When you do the Coffee with the Cop, because I know you guys did it at the senior center, there's got to be a little bit more you guys do. Not just give us coffee and donuts and all of those kind of things.
Right.
But the next time you guys do it, I would love to see you speak about engaging people.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
More.
Right.
Yeah. Yep, and that's I'm glad you brought that up because that is something at the senior center. I was able to get more personal with us. About my life, things like that. And that's a good connection because, like you said, it humanizes me. They just don't see the badge; they see a human being, and maybe they could relate to something that I grew up in. It's good. And Coffee with a Cop, I think, is more so on that level too because we get to have that one-on-one on a personal level. Yep.
Yeah, it breaks down the barriers and
Yep.
bridges that gap again.
Right. So it's good.
So you also have the Blue Angel program. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh yeah. So actually in January, I think someone's coming out. I think Detective Yang will be coming out to the senior center to do a presentation on the Blue Angel program. So that's pretty much when it's a program where senior citizens can sign up, or someone with a more so a disability. So what happens is whoever signs up, they get like a lockbox, pretty much like a spare key for their residence they can have. And what happens is they have a combination code, and that's integrated into our police system. So when we respond, if we have an issues getting into the house where the person's having a medical emergency situation, we're able to get in without having to damage the door, call the fire department, and cause damage. And with this program, it helps a lot because there's medical emergency. Sometimes it could be someone unresponsive, and we can't talk to them through the window or through the closed door and say, hey, what's the code? At least we'll have the information there for us, and we can respond immediately, get inside, and assess the situation. So I will encourage all senior citizens to apply for that once we get it going, or anyone with a handicap or disability that maybe can't get to the door when the family member's not home or health aid worker's not home. and it's, you know, that's the great thing with our police technology. We can have programs like this that will help the citizens.
It makes me so nervous, and I'm glad we're having this discussion, because it makes me nervous to think that I'm giving you access
Yes, yes.
to my home.
Right.
And so when I first heard that, I was
Right,
like,
right,
I don't know if I
Right,
want to
right,
be shoving
right.
out my information.
right, right,
Yes.
right.
Okay, is
Yeah,
it going to be
absolutely.
protected?
Yeah.
But then I get a little comfortable because I realize you can monitor things.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so it makes me feel a
Yep.
little bit
And like,
better.
there's, like I
about
said, there's a combination lock to it. You know, I know maybe back in the days it'd be like leave it under the rug or the plant,
Yeah.
and that's a little more. Now you can't do that because now everyone's looking for that. So it's more secure now, and like you said, it's monitored. So, you know, we don't have to worry about anyone else doing anything mischief with it. You know, like it will be a good tool to have, definitely.
And how can people get information on that program?
Well, we'll just look out for our social media, Facebook, Instagram. We'll be posting some flyers about that program, launching in January, and there will be a presentation at the Senior Center. So we'll have that date and time posted soon, probably before the end of the year. So we'll get some information out and have the community
and
come
make
out.
sure how to get in contact with you is also on all the information that comes out from the municipal building
Will
on what's
do.
going on in Piscataway,
Will
and
do.
using Piscataway TV to post
Yes.
those numbers, because people look at that.
Yep.
Right.
We'll do.
So
Yep.
as
We'll
much
do.
Absolutely.
information as you can give them is
Yes.
important.
We'll do.
Yep. And our question on that, so having moved into a new apartment building now, there's no keys, it's all electronic key fobs. So the apartment buildings in town that have gone that way, the police department has the
Yes. Yes.
the code,
Yes.
and
Yep.
then it's kind of a unit, like a skeleton code that
Yeah.
you can get into apartments
Yep.
if
all,
you need to.
all our, every time there's maybe a new management, new apartment complex, we make sure we get those codes, so that way it's emergency. We get the code and we're able to access the building. Yep. So it's kind of essentially how it works with the Blue Angel program. So we have all the technology, man. It's growing and it helps. It really helps. You know, and like I said, it saves time to get fire department. You know, that's time is always, you know,
It's everything.
Yeah. So the faster we get in to help the situation, the much better. So this program will really help that, you know, our response.
I want to say that this, for me, has been informational and a great learning experience. Okay, and so I'm hoping that our viewers see it the same way, because we're going to have to leave because we're out of time. But there's so many more questions that's rolling around in my head that I would love to have some conversation about. But you know what? I think it would be even greater that when we have you come back again,
Okay.
and then we have specific topics that can be in detail
Yes.
so
Yes.
people can hear
Okay.
the actual process.
Okay.
What do I do if I need this?
Okay.
If I need that?
Right.
Who do I call? Who's
Right.
connected to that lockbox one? Who's
Right.
connected to
It's
the one that can check
Absolutely.
out my home?
Yeah.
Right.
So that, you know, people like to know names and they like to hear people.
Okay.
Okay.
Makes them comfortable so they can get,
Agree. I agree.
yeah,
Yep.
really get to know you and get to know the police officers. You know,
Absolutely.
because that
Yes.
that's a comfort level
Absolutely.
Yes.
for any age.
Okay.
Yep.
Is there any final thing that you'd like to share with our audience about the programs or about what you might be doing in the future?
Sure. So, looking forward to 2026. Still, you know, want to hire men and women from this community to be police officers. I'm hard on myself. I didn't do a great job in 2025 doing that. I'm gonna be candid with you, and we got to do a better job. I got to do a better job of getting more men and women from Piscataway Township to take the test, pass the test, go through academy, and be police officers in the township. So, looking forward to 2026. That's my own personal and professional goal, is trying to attract more men and women from the township to be a part of this police department.
Sounds like a great goal. Really a great
And
goal.
from as the school liaison officer,
Yes.
any programs for the high school, middle schools?
Well, the youth academy will be very big, but now that that's coming back for the schools, so I can always being the school resource officer, I can relay that to our students here to encourage them to join. You know? So that'll be very, I think that'll be a great program to start back up again once we get it going.
Fantastic.
And just you know, we're like you said, we're evolving as a police department. Tell everyone just follow our social media for information.
He's the social media
Yeah,
guy.
so I like to
okay.
post the information out there. We're trying to be very involved with our community so they can get the information out. So we can get the information out to them. So social media is very big. So look out for that. Yep.
Big for you young people.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
right, well-
Helping us to learn.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
It's been fantastic discussion. We learned a lot today. So if there's a topic you'd like us to discuss, or if you'd like to be part of our show, please contact us at pctvbridgingthegap@gmail.com. Again, thank you, gentlemen, for sharing the information with us, and thanks to you for joining us. Please tune in for future sessions as we bridge the gap on another topic.